I cheated on my husband with his best friend, and ex-husband saved my son's life. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. I cheated on my husband with his best friend, and ex-husband saved my son's life. What I'm about to admit breaks my heart. Every day I've hurt so many people because I was a selfish person who trusted no one. I've been through so many horror breaks before getting married, but couldn't trust no man. My father died in a hospital from cancer. One of the last thing he told me: trust no man who works all day. There's no such job. My father cheated on my mother and left for another woman. I know the ones who will read this will mock me or hate me for what I to my ex-husband. But let me tell you, he may hate me, but I will always love him. There is nothing I can do to make up for what he has done for me and my kids. He came to hate me more than I hate myself. When we first met, he seemed like such a confident fellow. He walked up to me and started talking to me. He was hilarious, had amazing stories, super hard worker, and really smart. We met in college, and he was engineer major. And dated a little when later I've met his friend. We graduated and husband became an officer rank in the military. Before boot camp, he would train for the whole day. If it wasn't training with the Marines he paid, it was with MMA fighters. I was bored, and he never had time for me. His friend gave me hints and suggested we should hang out as friends. He used to tell me he feels out of husband league. Let's call him John. John worked at Target. John would always text me funny jokes. I didn't feel like it was anything bad, so I texted back. Next thing we know, that jokes turned into flirting comments. At this point, husband was nowhere near, and the avaman is never near his always cheating. John would always tell me he's a prick. He's always taking advantage of me, but gives me no time for me. I agreed. Janae went on dates. One husband would be killing himself in training. We ended up getting a hotel and slept with each other. John made me a promise I won't tell. He feared for his life his husband found out. I said, well, he's cheating too, so I don't care if it's hurt. Fast forward 2 years later, I get pregnant. I told my husband I'm pregnant. He gets super excited. He picks me up and starts crying because he's going to be a father. He tells me he loves me and kisses 1,000 times. I never told him about cheating. I asked him if he's seen someone else. He swears he never done anything like that. I had no time to feel guilty, so I never told him. He takes care of me for the whole months. Rents out a beautiful place for the baby shower. He invited my family. His family. What an awesome man. Invited 300 people in a matter of 2 days. He loves to feel in control and doesn't let me lift a finger. My mother loved him. My mother-in-law called me her baby. Whenever husband and I argued, she would slap him for arguing with her baby. Honestly, my new family was amazing. All the more reason to hate myself. I give birth to twins. 2 beautiful babies said that came out looking nothing like husband. My heart drops. I'm scared he'll notice, but anyone will notice they came out looking like John. Unhorrible. While my husband goes in train, I'll go sleep with his closest friend while he's excited for having a baby. I'm going behind his back. It will destroy him. Why did they keep going? He wasn't there for me sexually. While he's at boot camp, I couldn't afford of being spotted with Sean, so we met secretly. While I receive his letters, I would bite back while John is sleeping on my bed. My husband was there for the birth of the curls. He held them for the first time and started crying. He said it's going to be an even better parent than his parents. I believed him. I can't make eye contact because I feel super guilty. I knew they weren't his kids. I didn't know how to tell him. John knew as well. A year later, her husband took us to this new world. He surprised me with a beautiful ring. Since the day I met Hill, he has been there for me. We studied together. We graduated together. We made a family together. There's nothing we can do. Every time I look at my girls, I fall in love all over. I have the best right in front of me and will never let go of my girls. You make me a better man every time. I need a balance in my life. I need you for the rest of my life. Will you marry me? Of course, I said yes. My tears wasn't tears of joy. It was tears of guilt. He wiped them off and said, "Why do we feel guilt coming your tears?" My heart dropped and he said, "No, I'm happy. I love you." I did love him, but I didn't deserve him. John and I still saw each other. Husband would get deployed, and we would have sex constantly. Husband was away. He couldn't tell me when he was coming back. John told me it's all a lie. He said he's coming back in 5 months. Husband said he can tell me what does for the military? What job in the military is so secretive unless his spy? Bullshit in my mind. I'm so sure he was sleeping with another woman, John, and I would take care of the gorillas as husband is away. House sex all day. I told John he needs to work so he can take care of his kids. He said not to tell him what to do, but his erroneous man. We argued and said carefully, "Don't make me tell husband." I could afford for something like that happened. I stayed shut. One day, he wanted some, and I said, "What if he's not cheating? What if he's just working?" He hugged me, started kissing me, whispered to me, "Listen, I knew this man in my entire life. He always lies to women, telling them he loves them, and when they're not licking, he's with another woman. I'm telling you, he's with another woman over there." Continuous kissing my neck. I enjoyed sex with him. He threw in a bed, we started. 10 minutes later, he bangs right through the door while life was over. In a flash, I saw his tears and then his killing the best men of our wedding. I'm screaming, "You're going to kill him." I'm trying to get him off of John. His spent is 5 feet, 11, 20-pound man about to kill a 5 feet 8 guy, a 150-pound guy. I'm 5 feet 2. What can I do? I'm doing the best I can to stop him. I push him back and make him look at me. He lost his mind. I saw his people getting bigger and smaller over and over again. I'm crying because I never seen him like this. I look at John and his washed up in blood. Husband literally screams at me and destroys the whole room. I was so scared. I literally thought I was going to die. At this moment, I believed he never did anything behind my back. Cops came. Ambulance came. So much happened. 2 weeks later, we had to get paternity tests and lie detector tests. My world dropped. My husband has never been with another woman behind my back. Never even kissed. My father told me all men's sheets may wear away for too long. I haven't seen my husband in 6 months. How is it possible my husband never cheated? It was hard to believe it, but if the questions I know were true, These questions had to be true. What have I done? I've been betraying my husband so many times. I've cheated on him since the beginning. The baby shower, the gender revealed during the wedding. John came up to me, mapped me us, and Wisney. And while my husband was deployed, I brought his friend over to sleep with him. Not only that, I made him believe he's the father of my girls. All this was revealed to him that day. And that day, all my guilt I tried to compress for years exploded out of me. John's test revealed has been lying to me so he can sleep with me. But he was always jealous piece of crap, so he decided to break husband. My mother was heartbroken, she cried all night. She loved husband like her son. She looked at like I'm her enemy. She told me, I'm just like my father. He gave you a home, while he's out of here putting food on a table, giving you a comfortable bed, taking care of your kids. He's surviving out there. You couldn't tell him he's not a father. That the father is the best man of the wedding? And you're pregnant again. Were you going to tell him he's the father to this one too? I failed as a mother. She looked down, cried, and walked away. My father cheated, and beat down my mother physically and verbally and emotionally at home. I found husband lifeless on the floor out of his mind. I hold it to him begging for his forgiveness. I look at him, and it's like he's dead, but still breathing. I've destroyed the one man who loved me. The man who never went behind my back. He always had my back. I thought maybe we can make this work, and if he gave me another chance that I would be the best wife there is. He divorced me. Before all that, one of his men said to me, "Do you know what he went through?" He ordered me not to say a word, but it's women like you that makes me not want to marry. He saved my life. He saved a little girl's life. He's betrayed, a hero. I've seen so much, but fast forward, 8 years later.